The name Wernher von Braun is well known for two primary reasons: his groundbreaking work on rocketry that landed man on the moon, and his work as a registered Nazi at a concentration camp under Adolf Hitler. But he's also known for a third reason: his work with Walt Disney himself. But how did a former Nazi rocket scientist end up working with Walt Disney, and what did they work on? Wernher von Braun was born in Germany in 1912. He was a poor high school student, particularly in math and physics. That all changed though when he read a copy of By Rocket into Planetary Space. This novel was written by early rocketry pioneer Hermann Oberth and ignited von Braun's love of rocketry. Following Germany's defeat in World War I, the Treaty of Versailles was established. Among other things, this treaty was written to prevent Germany from developing weapons of war, but it did not include rocketry. Germany's work on rockets was extremely dependent on research done by the young von Braun, whose thesis on liquid propellants was kept classified all the way until 1960. Von Braun was immediately put to work on Germany's rocket program, with the aim of creating a rocket that could be used as a weapon. This work yielded the German V-2 rocket, the world's first long-range guided ballistic missile. The V-2 was constructed at the Nordhausen-Dora concentration camp in central Germany. This work was done by slave laborers and was directly overseen by von Braun. Although there is no doubt that von Braun was a Nazi and he contributed perhaps more than any other to their advanced weapons programs, there is some controversy over whether or not von Braun believed in Nazi ideology. He claims that he was forced into developing the V-2 even while disagreeing with its purpose. While we'll likely never know the truth about these claims, there is one bit of certainty. Throughout all of his work for the Nazi Party, von Braun was working towards one singular goal: human space travel. As World War II was coming to an end in 1945 to an obvious German defeat, the Nazi Party was unwilling to surrender von Braun and his team due to the secrecy and highly advanced nature of their work. They were kept in the Swiss Alps and overseen by SS guards who were ordered to kill them if an attempted Allied capture were to take place. Von Braun was able to convince the guards to let him and his team split up and hide in several of the villages nearby. Once they were let go, von Braun and several members of his team escaped and made it to Austria. It was there that he had found an American soldier, and von Braun surrendered. After his surrender, von Braun and his team were allowed entry into the United States and were expunged of their Nazi connections. This cleared the way for them to start working with the American government on their advancement of rocketry, a decision that came with enormous controversy. That controversy partly faded away with time, and in 1952, Walt Disney entered the picture. Walt Disney was very good at using film and television to increase public interest in certain topics, which was exactly what von Braun was trying to do for space exploration. Together, they teamed up on creating 3 television programs: Man in Space, Man on the Moon, and Mars and Beyond. Disney and his studio served as the artists and animators behind the shows, while von Braun served as technical director. Von Braun actually appeared in these episodes, which focused on explaining how manned space travel to the moon and beyond was actually possible.
Even though we now have the theoretical knowledge to make a trip to the moon, it will be many years yet before our plans can fully materialize. However, let us imagine for a moment that the many problems have been solved and that after completing our space station, we are ready to begin our first voyage around the moon.
With over 42 million viewers in the first episode alone, there is little doubt that Disney and von Braun helped to ignite the American public's fascination with space travel. A few years later, von Braun would go on to achieve his lifelong dream. While he didn't ever personally travel through space on one of his rockets, he oversaw the development of the Saturn V, the rocket that landed man on the moon.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
So, what do you think? Was Disney right to work with a former registered Nazi? And were Disney and von Braun's collaborations crucial to the American interest in space travel that landed man on the moon? Let us know in the comments down below, and please be sure to like and subscribe for more episodes of Disney Declassified.